Hey guys, this morning I'm going to go over the underwriting. Just if you have 3 months of the last rent, the trailing three, right? Typically we want a T12, right? The trailing 12 months, and as much historical data as we can find, typically 3 years, you can get a pretty good idea of what's going on. But if you're just going off kind of a fly, you're trying to get a proposal done with very limited information. I'm going to show you guys how to just go off of a 3 months. I'm not sure if you can see my screen, but if you can see the profit and loss I just pulled up, this is through July. But what we're going to do is to just take the 3 months, May, June, July, gross income, or we'll do April, May, June. We'll just do these 3 months with what they have expenses, and I'm going to plug it in. We have a rent roll. So these are just the two items, if you can see it. Just a rent roll. It shows where most of the rents are, right? We're from the 225, 250, upwards of 300, and then the profit loss. And that's really all you need to put a valuation together, or have an idea if they have a price in mind. See 9.5 million for this. Then we'll be able to see what the numbers pencil out to see if it's a deal for us or any of our investors or clients. Maybe somebody's looking for a 5 cap and this is coming in at a 4.5, right? Then we know it's not a deal for some, but there might be some higher levered funds out there willing to take a smaller cash on cash return, which this might be the deal for them. So all right, I'm going to go through the rental income. I plugged in the price. This example, we're shooting at 9.5. Projected what the offer will be 9.1. It's 40,000 per pad. This is a mobile home park here in Florida. And again, all I had was the gross rents, a rent roll, and a profit and loss statement. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add up the last 3 months. Okay, and that totals 59,825 for month 1, plus 59,325 for month 2, and 59,485 for month 3. Right, so we divide that by 3 months. And the average is 59,545. We're going to annualize that by 12. So the gross projected income is 714,540. Okay, so the pro forma, we're not even going to work on a pro forma right now. We're just going to do, you could have 4 different versions, right? If this was listed, this is off market right now, so there's not a broker involved. There's not a marketing package, but if there is, what you would do is plug in what the broker had or the package. Then your version goes right here. What I'm doing right now is I'm pulling out all the information that I'm finding, and this is my version. Okay, projected. You can put a pro forma together. If you know rents are at 300, but the projected is 350 or 400, you can underwrite that just to see what it would look out, and then your offer price, right? So if your offer price should be based off your version of the expenses and income, and then the target or what your offer would be, right? So I'm going to just do 191 because there's already an offer on the table, but let's say you want to do 8.9, right? What does that number look like? So there's just a few different columns, so you can do it all at once. This is a little rule of thumb if you're just trying to figure out on the fly. He didn't have let's say he didn't have his insurance in there and you haven't got a quote yet. Well, this chart showing if you multiply the purchase price or the sales price by 0.007, that'll give you a ballpark insurance price. So there's a lot of good rules of thumb here, and more importantly, it has the list of what could be missing. I've gotten plenty of information from sellers, but then as I'm going through it line by line, I see, oh, they're missing, oh, where's the management fee? Oh, they didn't have repairs and maintenance, which is one of the largest expense. So this just keeps you in track when you're underwriting what should or maybe shouldn't be underwritten, right? So, okay, we got the gross rents. The vacancy, we know it's at 80% occupied. Where did that show? Rent roll. So if you can see the rent roll, I don't know if this is popping up on the screen or if you just see my underwriting calculator, but this is the rent roll, which, see, it shows 81%. Okay. So there's 51 vacant units, 280 units total, which, let's see here. I had 280 minus 51, 229, so 208. So there's actually a lot of potential at this property. And I know this isn't the most exciting trading, but it's very important because this is how you get evaluations done and make some money, right? So I'm going to change this. This is actually 280. Okay, it makes a big difference. So that takes that price per pad down from 44 to 33. I'm sorry, yeah, 42 to 33. And that's 19% vacant. Or I'm sorry, yes, it's 81% occupied, 19% vacancy. Projected, let's say we get, this place 93% occupied. I include bad debt or loss to lease or concessions of 3%. So what that is, bad debt is non-payments from a tenant that should have been collected that you may or may not receive, right? So could be a tenant backed up on a few months of rent. You may collect on that, but you may not. So we include that because oftentimes there's the bad debt racks up, then they're evicted, and that's lost income, right? Lost to lease, bad debt, and then concessions. That's if you're offering a few months of free rent. It's basically any rent that you could have collected that you didn't, or should have been collected but you didn't. Again, whether that's offering free rents, tenant just doesn't pay. Number of items. So we use 3%. Effective gross income. Let's see, 7. Gross potential. So we're going to use the 714 as a gross potential, and then it populates. See, took out the 19, and then there's the net. So now we're going to go through each expense. And again, when you're doing this off the 3 months, you're just adding up these 3 months, dividing it by 3, and there's your number. Now, they have quite a few, $3 grand for evictions. I'm sure there's more than that. They're missing quite a few line items, right? They're not having their taxes. I'm sure they're paying those at the end of the year. So we'll just have to include those. Interest expense, they're paying on a loan. Here's that. Insurance expense, 7,889. That's probably annual. So some of these you can pull out that are already annually. If not, again, just 3 months, divide by 3, management expense. So they're making about, 8, 5, 10, 0. So management expense, we'll use a 5% fee in here. It's usually, let's see the loan. Okay. So what we'll do, purchase price is going to be 9.1. So we're going to do 1.5%. The rule of thumb is 0.01. So we're looking at 91,000 for taxes. It's pretty heavy. Insurance, let's see, they had 78.89. That's about right. Contract services, they didn't have. They had, so lawnmower, let's see, 21,000. Yeah, so far. Okay. So, okay, they've had, it's averaging about 1,300. We're going to do a 1,385 times 2. plus there was 1 month, 3620. Maybe there's tree removal, divide by 3, 2100 for lawn. Let's see, is that in here? Payroll other, we can put under it other. Oh, trash removal. Is it lawns? We'll add that for now in the we'll add that in the other for now, 25,560. Repairs and maintenance. Oh, that was repairs and maintenance driveway. Okay, I see, lawns and driveway. So we'll put that R&M, repairs and maintenance. We'll remember that. Legal and professional expenses. Let's see, legal, evictions. They had 32, so 3240 plus. Let's say legal was another 1,046. There's going to be more than that. There's going to be definitely more than $5,000. So you know what? We should actually just double that. We should just double that number because there's a lot of tenants in here. The evictions and legal are going to be much more. So we'll be conservative. That's only 1%. The gross. Trash removal. Trash and garbage they aren't accounting for. See, there's a lot of, we figure, you know, we could do 10 to 80. You do 2,800 a month. So trash removal could be another 30, 3,600. Or a way to look at it too is if you do 200 a unit, you know, that's more in apartments. That could be valet. That's 45,000. So 33, you know, that's a good ballpark number. Electric, trash. I'm not seeing that on this sheet. Again, there was quite a bit of left out line items. Utilities expense. Okay, so utilities is 1,000 a month. So again, 1,031 plus 1,010 plus 1,029 divided by 3. So for utilities, we're looking at, let's see, 12,600. Electric, we'll call that electric and gas, 12,612 for the year. See, and right here, this shows the expense ratio. So 32%, that's, this is showing red because this is really used more in apartments, this calculator. Anywhere from 30 to 40% expense ratio is common in mobile home parks. Apartments are more in the 50% range, right? Because a lot of these tenants own their own home, so they're responsible for those repairs and maintenance. Let's see, management 8. So there's a 510. What was the gross rent? So usually 5% of the gross of 700 is 0.05. So we're looking at 35,000. What is this? 8. Yeah, so we'll just put 35,000 for the management fee. Okay, 38. So see, we're getting close. These expenses are close. So, you know, there's going to be some other payroll and admin, repairs and maintenance. We can put more repairs and maintenance. But again, these are all tenant-owned homes, so that's not going to be as heavy. This repair maintenance down here that we put in earlier was more for driveways. I don't know if that's considered more of a capital expenditure. We'd have to talk to the seller to really find out. But Interest expense eviction. Let's see. Yeah, this is all that they're putting. Supplies. They don't have utilities. So yeah, I mean, I'm going to plug in a few more here. Again, just be conservative, but 38 to 34% expense ratio. Why is this one later? Oh, this had 40%. I see. Management fee. Okay, 35. Yeah, gave the vacancy. It's on a pro forma. Okay. My version though. So see, I'm coming up close to that 40%. So that's close. We can do another general item, and let's do, payroll. We're going to have some other repairs and maintenance. Let's just call it, 1,500 for the month. Let's just call another 18,000. There, bumps us to the 41%. That's about right. Water, gas. This could be city utilities with bill back. Water, we don't have a water bill here, so utilities was shown for 12,000. Water, that could be direct bill. We do need to find out though, because that could be a huge expense that some owners drown in if they're not reimbursing themselves. So let's see what debt we had on here. So right now we're getting, where's this loan? Down here we got 5%, 30-year, 5%. And that is with a 25% down payment on 9.5. So yeah, these numbers are, 4.5 cap. That's tough. The debt service doesn't float. A lot of these lenders want a 1.25 debt service coverage ratio, right? So that means that net operating income covers 1.25 times the debt service. So, and here's the numbers that we look on right here. I'll highlight these if you guys can see it. Cap rate, cash on cash, right, negative, just because the amount of initial equity being put down and then the return. Debt service coverage ratio. So these aren't checking the boxes for a deal. Now this is a larger deal, institutional deal, so the cap rate will be heavily compressed, but 4.5 at what we'd offer 1.1, 280 spaces. Let's make sure this is all right. So let's see, estimated closing costs. Okay, this isn't right. Well, down payments 2.2. Closing costs might be, let's just call it 3% of 9.1. This might have been off one of the last deals. Maybe that's why these are. So it'd be, let's call it 225. 225. Why did that move? 2. Okay. So on a 9.5, 225. Okay. So the numbers get a little bit better on the cash on cash, but not a whole lot, right? Gross collected rents. Oh, here we go. 714. There we go. Okay. Yeah, see, these still aren't wonderful. So, but again, go back through, make sure these are right. So here's the vacancy, the pro forma 7. It's currently, oh, but that's with the vacancy. Oh, let's see what happened here. Okay. So what I did here, there's 280 sites total. So the gross potential income this is actually, I'll go on the low end, 225 times 280. It's 276, the gross potential. So the net should be currently around 714. Let's see, 300 times 280. Yeah, the gross potential should really be, average monthly rent is 300. Yeah, this is why you double check. So really it's 300, oh geez. $300. This is average monthly rent. So the gross potential is $1,008,000. There. Now the gross, see, that makes a big difference. So then it's 19% vacant. So that's the net. So these numbers will look a little better. Not, see, the debt service coverage ratio, the 4.5 went to a 5.5. That made a big difference. And that was my mistake. And this is why, again, you go over it. So, and the reason, the mistake there, if you miss that, it was 280 sites there. I was putting the gross, there's 280 total sites. There's only about 220 cash flowing sites. But the potential, this doesn't ask the current, it asks the potential is the million. So it'd be, the potential is on all 280. What I had here originally was just off the what's occupied, and that's wrong because you want the potential minus the vacancy, and that's what it is here. So that was what was wrong there. So all right, so now we're more on track. Numbers still, it's not a grand slam, but see, this is now a 30%, 28, and this is at 7%, which is probably more like 12 the first year. And this hits the debt service. So by year one, we could probably get a nice refi, but it's slim. This might be a good deal for an institution, but for us, we're not able to get in deals with this because our leverage would, you'd be underwater. So that's how you do it just off the 3 months. We filled in a lot of these line items that weren't in here, right? So here's all the zeros that weren't filled in. So we were conservative, and that's where we popped out our evaluation. So, and if you play with these numbers, if you want to get in this deal at a 6 cap, well, then a 9.1 is what you need to offer on this, right? So hope this helped. Oh, let me change this one. 1, 2, 3. These calculators are in there for you to download. So there's a 6 cap. Yeah, so this could be financeable. See, it's in green now for where the lender would lend. 9.5, this is what we think we could take to a hedge fund or another institution and pay, because they have a, I've heard one guy was looking for cash on cash of 4 or for just 4%, cash on cash, not a cap rate. It's crazy. So there's other people out there that will pay it just because it might not be a deal for you, but I hope this helped. And we'll do another training here soon on the next